The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
All right, welcome back to the year-end best of The David Pakman Show. We're going through all the best interviews. We're talking about Lewis, who will be guest hosting today's bonus show, so make sure you're getting that. We talked in D.C. with Cenk Uygur, host of the Young Turks, and he's been on the show more recently. He actually called in once from a car breakdown, literally on the side of the highway. Fortunately, in D.C., he was actually able to sit down with me. We talked about a lot of different stuff. The full interview is up on our YouTube channel. Let's just take a listen to a little bit of that interview now.
An op-ed in a local paper in Massachusetts a couple weeks ago talking about handlers, and a lot of times when I'm asked to stay away from a certain topic, the principal, the person you're interviewing, number one, is not even aware that the interviewers are being asked to stay away from that.
That's true.
And number two, sometimes I'll make the call and I'll say, you know, they've never been on my show. Worst comes to worst, they'll never come on again. I'm just going to go there anyway. How many times have you had to make that call?
A lot.
And what do you usually do?
Well,
or is it really one-on-one? You got to handle it case by case.
Case by case. And look, it's enormously important for our show, as the ethos of our show, that we don't sell out for access, right? Mm-hmm. So if somebody says, here, ask me this question, or otherwise I won't come on, we're not going to agree to that deal, because that's not what we do. Right?
Will you announce this person was going to come on, but they insisted on knowing the questions, so we said no?
Again, depends on the context, but from time to time we've definitely done that.
Yeah.
Or if someone bails out on an interview because they found out we were actually going to ask them questions.
That's happened too.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I might call them out on air on that. And to give you a rough example, Lou Dobbs was on the show, and his handler had, said all these different things. But I think exactly like you said, I don't think Lou knew that. And then so I'm asking him questions, and the PR person got on the line in the middle of the interview. Okay. And I'm like, are you crazy? We're on air, right? And then Lou Dobbs got mad, and he's like, no, of course I'm going to answer the question, and shooed them away.
So it's not uncommon that the interviewee is actually much more open to talking about stuff than their handler.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And look, they're a little bit more on the spot, and even if they had told their handler earlier, if they're on air, they're more on the spot, to be honest. But I think in general, my experience is that they're earnestly more willing to answer questions than their PR people want them to.
I've heard you talking on your show and also in some of the interviews you've done here about reaching out to the right-wingers, that eventually they'll come over to our side, so on and so forth. And when I hear that, I can only think to myself that it's like when Shirley Phelps Roper tells me that eventually the Jews will accept Jesus, and then they will. I won't go to hell, and all the others won't go to hell. I mean, it's a little hopeless, isn't it?
No, I don't think so.
It's not that bad?
Okay, but you have to be very specific about it. Okay?
Yeah.
If you're hoping that you're going to get pro-life people to go, hey, you know what, I didn't really consider about a woman's liberty and that she should maybe control her own body.
I'm going to change my mind.
Right. That's tough. It can happen.
Yeah.
And it can happen case by case. But that's, in mass, is a little tough. Right? But I'm asking for something very specific, saying, hey, look, I know you don't like your politicians being bought, and I don't like it either, right? And I'm not saying you should agree with liberal positions or progressive positions. I want to have a real fair ideological battle with you. But right now we're not having that. What we're having instead is our politicians don't serve either one of us. They serve the corporate interests that have bought them. Can I eventually get a decent percentage of right-wingers to understand that and to join that fight? I think absolutely.
So great, as always, to have Cenk Uygur on with us.